Okay, guys, so here we are at the tier list. As you can see, it is a 4-tiered tier list, and below it we've got all of the cards that we're going to be using, all the cards that General's going to be ranking. So let me go over the tiers. Okay, we've got multi-deck meta, which is number 1. So these are cards which you see all the time, consistently performing at the top levels in the meta in multiple decks. Single deck meta or sideboard are cards that are still performing at the top of the meta, but you'll only see it in one deck, okay? Or you might see it in a sideboard quite often in top meta decks. Rarely used or sideboard is similar to single deck meta, but you rarely see it in decks. You might occasionally see it in a bit of an experimental deck in the top meta. Otherwise, maybe you'll see it in the sideboard sometimes. And then never used, it's never used basically. Now, the way this has worked, I have already done this tier list myself, based off my own opinion. Remember that, guys, my opinion, okay? And at the end of General's ranking, we're going to compare the two lists, and he's going to score points based on how he ranked the cards compared to me. So, if he gets the card in the exact same tier that I put it, he'll get 3 points. If he puts it in the same half, so top half, bottom half, he will get 1 point. He's basically saying, if I think a card is good, he also thinks a card is good, but he didn't get it spot on. And then if he gets it in any of the other options, he gets 0 points. Does that make sense, General?
That makes sense.
So, with that being said, let's get straight into the first card, which is going to be Green Ari. Take us away, General.
Okay. So I'm looking at a few things. Firstly, cost 5, tap in 5, and then recycling 1. It's quite expensive. But when I hold, you score 1 point. See, that could be quite good because you get points for holding, and you can win from holding.
That is true.
So it's like 2 points when you're holding.
Exactly.
I can again though see sort of the downside of being quite expensive. Only 4 might, so maybe it's a bit easier to kill. I don't know. However, I still think it's a good enough card to put in like single deck meta or sideboard.
Okay, and you're locking that in?
I don't know enough about green decks to know whether it could be put in others, but I think single deck. I think it may be a single deck. It could be good.
I get that. Again, if you want to change any of these picks later on, we can always come back to them. But for now, we can put Ari there. And moving on to the next card, we have got the one and only Dazzling Aurora.
Now, from the brief time that I have played with Ben, this card stinks in terms of like, forever he's like playing it. Stinks for me to play against because it's just like 3 big units. Again, it's really expensive, really quite slow to bring out, and if you're unlucky at drawing it, but you're allowed 3 in a 40 card deck, so your chances are relatively high.
That is correct.
I reckon because even though it's 9 cost to recycle, you still get a free unit, and usually a high level unit. So I'd say I'd put it in single deck meta or sideboard.
Okay.
I don't think you could. I think you use it very specifically for sort of slow scaling decks, maybe, rather than like.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can be like, it's a card you build a deck around. I feel rather than being a card.
Okay, I like
that you can just slot in.
I like the reasoning behind that. I'm noticing a bit of a trend here in single deck meta, but that's fine.
It'll change.
Maybe all the cards I put in were single deck meta or sideboard. Who knows?
That would be insane.
I promise you I didn't do that.
It'll be a very short video.
It would.
All right.
Okay, next card is going to be Baited Hook.
I haven't actually seen this card. 25. I mean, that seems cool. It's really cheap.
It is.
Like, because you don't even need to recycle. I mean, you need to tap and recycle 1 for its thing, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Look at top 5 cards you can play. I mean, 5 cards also is a lot.
I feel like this card might hit a bit closer to home because there's a lot of text on this card, and obviously in Yu-Gi-Oh, you've got to be used to reading essays every time you play a card.
Some SAS card. Yeah, I'd say that's a really good card.
Okay.
Is this going to be really annoying? Okay, this is going to be really annoying. I'm going to put it in single deck meta or sideboard.
Okay, I like it.
And actually,
I like
I'd actually like to change Ari.
Okay.
I'd actually say multi-deck because I think, although it's expensive, that hold being able, like, if you're playing a tempo deck, having those 2 points on hold feels quite strong there.
That is true. I do want to clarify as well. Obviously, in Riftbound, you can't gain that final point from conquering, but you could gain the final point from Ari's effect as well. Just to throw that out there as well, in case that, you know, changes anything in your head or supports your reasoning, which it would do basically.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we've got Draven.
Draven, my might is increased by my points. He's really expensive for a 3, and again, it's dependent on how many points you get. So what's his maximum? Because 8 points to win, 7. That would make 10 might.
True. Or if there is
Well, but 5 cost 3 might doesn't seem like. I feel like this is quite situational. But maybe it is just. Maybe I'm stupid and it's just really good. Because you're getting 3 might from points, and basically getting early points isn't that difficult. Like, especially if it's your turn. I'm gonna go. Actually, no. I'm gonna go single deck meta or sideboard.
Okay.
I think I could definitely see it coming out. Whether it will be in a main deck, I wouldn't say it would be rarely used. I think it'll be used a bit more than that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go.
So far, we are 4 for 4 on the single deck meta or sideboard. This is good. Look,
yeah,
hey,
I have just realized that.
But Ari got moved, so maybe this is like the base area, and then we move to a battlefield on one of the different locations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
I'm
what you mean.
yapping.
I know what you mean.
I'm yapping.
We had ganking to all our cards, and they.
He knows his ball, guys. He knows ball.
Yeah, mate.
Okay.
This ain't my first rodeo.
This ain't his first rodeo. And the next rodeo we're going to be looking at is Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger seems really cool. I have all tap abilities of all friendly units and gear. I can see this being used in a lot of. I can see this being used quite a lot. I don't think I've seen it, but maybe like in my brief time. Sure. I think this card looks really cool. It's gear, its abilities, its units. Obviously, you can only use one of them each turn, but it gives you that choice. I might put multi-deck, you know? I think that card's really cool. Really good.
Okay. It does have a very appealing ability, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also
does
isn't
seem
that
quite
expensive. Three tap, 3 might. That feels like a good little ratio.
Yeah, I like that logic. I like that reasoning. And moving on, we're going to look at Red Kaiser.
I'm a big fan of this one. Mostly because I'm a big fan of drawing cards. It's like gives me a little bit of dopamine whenever I pick it up. I'm like, ooh. So I'm just gonna put this one straight in multi-deck meta. I think this card's really good. Like, it's really good. Like when I conquer as well. So it's like an ability you can use multiple times. Maybe not multiple times in a turn, but throughout a game you can.
Yeah, you can move it in and out, shake
yeah.
all about.
And again, drawing cards is just always,
of course,
good.
Very confident about
Gives
that
you more
one.
outs.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do like it. First one you've been solid on, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next up we've got Karthus.
3. I mean, its cost and might seems pretty standard for something like that. Death Knell effects trigger an additional time. I don't know if that's crazy good. I haven't seen much of the Death Knell cards. Or the Death Knell cards that I've seen have like had. I don't know, haven't been amazing, but maybe that's just me being crazy. I'm gonna put in rarely used off sideboard. I see this could be potentially used in some, like, but I don't see it being used a lot. I wouldn't say it's as far as never used because I think it potentially still has its place.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
First card in the bottom half, and it's Karthus. Let's see if you regret this decision or not.
Well, yeah, we'll find out.
Who knows? Who knows? Next, we've got Malzahar.
Malzahar. Okay, so firstly, don't have to recycle any mana, not mana. Runes.
Yep.
Which is already good. Kill a friendly unit or gear, and then tap it. As an action, add 2 runes. Use on your turn or in showdowns. Abilities that add resources can't be reacted to.
Very specific wording in that
Yeah,
text set.
it's also it's like a very weird card. I think like adding runes and stuff, that's pretty cool. You have to kill a friendly unit for it though.
True. But that includes recruits and tokens.
Yeah. But then I guess I think it's just quite a specific card. So again, I'd probably put it in like rarely used or sideboard.
Okay. 2 in a row in rarely used or sideboard. Very, very interesting. Oh, you didn't sound confident there.
I mean, I'm not really confident in any of my choices.
True. You have no clue, to be fair to you. This is just off of game sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, okay. We'll see how you do anyway. We'll see how you do. Moving on, we have got Mystic Reversal.
I like this card. Getting control of the spell, you can make. Its wording is so weird though.
Again, very like specific wording, isn't it?
Yeah, it's also really expensive, but it is a reaction. But like the problem is, you'd have to have this expense on, like, it's assumedly it would be a card they use on their turn. I think it would be really good for, like, if someone's playing a deck that uses really high level spells, then its cost becomes sort of, I'd say single deck meta or sideboard. I think you'd have it in your sideboard, and then you'd see what someone was playing, and then maybe like in game 2, you'd whip out the Mystic Reversal because their things are really high, or they have a lot of spells with a lot of board clear and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do like that. Okay. Next up, we've got Noxus Saboteur.
I mean, this is cool. 3 cost, 3 might. Your opponent's in cards can't be revealed here. I like that one. I'd actually put that quite high because some of the hidden cards are really annoying, and it would just stop you from getting, beefed out by them. So I might put. Okay, this is brave. I'm gonna say multi-deck because I think it's just
deck meta.
It's 3 for 3 might.
It is.
And
no
they
power
can't
cost.
reveal that hidden. So stuff like Hidden Blade.
Yeah.
Which is the only one I can really think of off the top of my head that I know can't be used. So.
Yeah. I like that. Confident as well. Very, very nice. Okay. Following that, we've got Possession.
This card is so expensive. But you can do it in showdowns.
Yeah.
Choose an enemy unit at a battlefield. So you could stop someone from fighting you.
True.
Send it to my base. This isn't a move. And then you can move it somewhere on your turn. Well, I mean, you'd be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just really expensive. I might put it in rarely used or sideboard.
Okay.
Yeah, that would do.
Now, Carnivorous Snapvine.
I've seen this card once. I like it. It's quite expensive, but 6 might for 5/2 recycles. Pretty cool. When you play me, choose an enemy unit at the battlefield. We deal damage equal to our mights to each other. I mean, you just get to choose. So
yeah.
I think it's fine because you don't even need to put it into a battlefield, do you? You can just play it and it goes.
Yeah, you can play that in base.
I think that's very good. I'd put that in. I'm gonna put that in single deck.
Okay.
Not quite multi-deck because I think there are some maybe other decks that wouldn't want it because of its high cost.
I get that for sure. And obviously you draw 2 runes a turn, and this costs 2 runes recycled. So you're kind of, when you play it, you're basically freezing your progression in that game in terms of rune resources.
I mean, I think it would be something you play quite late on rather.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. All right. Soul Gorger. This big man.
This is so expensive, but I can see why. You must still pay its power cost. I think this card is really good, but I can see it only being really very specific. Namely, I can already see that it would be used say with Aurora.
Okay. Making a connection here. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's high level, you'd want that free because you're not going to pay that cost because you have to pay the power cost for this, which is already 8 recycle 2. You then have to recycle whatever for the one you're getting out.
Okay.
And if you want a decent card, usually they have this power cost. I'm still thinking. I'm say rarely used.
Rarely used. Okay.
Important
to note, there is no cards in never used so far.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that because I think there might be one that I moved down.
Remember, we can always come back to one of the cards. We can always shuffle it about. We can do it at the end as well if you want. If you want some time to think about it.
Yeah, I will.
But following that, we've got Spectral Matron.
When you play me, you may play a unit costing no more than 3 and no more than 3 of trash to ignite its cost. I don't know. 3 from the trash. And no more than... So it's got to be 3 cost and not have more than 1 power cost?
Yes. Or up to 3 cost.
That's a free card list right there.
It is. That is true.
But it's also from your trash. So it's a card that's had to have died already. I don't think this is crazy. Like, so at least with Soul Gorger, like you pay its energy cost, but like you're ignoring. Like, sure you have to pay its power cost, but you can play like a really high cost unit.
Yeah. Really
easily. This one has to be a low unit.
True.
Well, I guess it's much cheaper. Maybe this is quite good. Nah, I'm actually gonna put this in. I might put this in never used. I think it's just like.
Are we locking in?
I didn't see many.
The never used.
I'm gonna lock in never used. I just feel
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first never used card in the tier
Get in the bin.
Get in the bin. Spectral Matron. Okay, following Spectral Matron, we've got Twisted Fate.
This card is cool.
He is. Again, a lot of text. A lot
Big
to
fan
get
of
your head
text.
around.
When that attacks,
too
reveal the
much
top
text?
rune of your room deck, then recycle it. Do one of the following based on its domain. Deal 2, draw 1, summon a unit. For 4, you have to attack. Hey, I like this card. This is cool.
A lot of variety on this card.
Yeah. Deal 2 enemy and 1 to all other enemy units here. 4 costs, no power cost as well. I'm gonna put it in. Okay, I'm gonna put it in my favorite one: single deck or sideboard.
There we go, making its return. It's been a while, but we're back. We're back. Okay.
Also, the only other issue I have with Twisted Fate is it's only got. Oh, it's Hold on. Hold
the door.
It's purple, but only has outs with red. Okay. I might put it in rarely used or sideboard because the thing is, you're only going to have two types of energy in your thing.
True.
Meaning,
very true.
And it has to be purple for Twist. Well, yeah, it has to be purple. One's going to be purple for Twisted Fate because you can't put. Or maybe it doesn't. But either way, I think it's just very. So I'm going to move it down 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poor Twisted Fate with the bait and switch. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and next is Time Warp.
I never used. I read
Never
this and I think
used?
this.
Okay.
I think this card is trash. It's
Okay.
really expensive.
It is very expensive.
So, firstly, you've got to spend 10, leaving you with 2. You've got to recycle 4. And this is assuming you have a full board of untapped mana anyway.
True.
You've only got 2 left.
Yeah.
Right? And then sure, you get another turn. But then, I don't know. If you've got 12 untapped mana, that's probably enough to do an insane turn anyway. I just think its cost doesn't, I think
Okay.
a bit.
Yeah. I think that is like the second most expensive card in the game, to be fair. Oh, it's top 3.
What's the most
anyway.
expensive?
It's a 12 cost Volibear.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's Volibear's power cost is not as much as that. That might be the highest power cost in the game.
Yeah, that is 4. So even when you've paid for it on a board of 12, you're paying for 4, and you're only getting 2 of that back. So you're only going to have 10 mana for your next turn.
True, which is still a
lot. So in
lot,
essence, you're only going to have 12 mana. I mean, it will be good in terms of like, it'll untap your mana, it'll
Yep.
untap all of your cards that are tapped. I just don't think,
Fair
I
enough.
don't know.
Very fair. All right, the second last card, Udyr.
Spend my buff, choose one that you've not chosen this turn. Deal 2, stunning unit, ready me.
Again, similar to Twisted Fate in the variety sense.
However, I think this has more outs than Twisted Fate, because you're spending a buff. So I'm going to put this in single deck.
Okay.
I think this will be decent, but again, in specific circumstances. Whereas my issue with TF is, like, it's even more specific and a bit up, so.
Okay. I see that. And finally, last but not least, we have the big, the bad, the ugly. Maybe not that ugly. White Flame Protector.
I think he's beautiful.
He is very lovely.
He's just so mesmerizing.
He is.
I'm gonna say ready. It's really expensive again. Oh, but it's 8 might plus 8. Maybe it's. I'm gonna say rally used our sideboard.
Okay.
I maybe not in the main deck, but I think definitely could put it there.
Okay. Are you happy with this list?
I'm
Is there anything
sort of happy.
you would like to change before we lock it in? And I
think
out
I'm gonna
the points.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna regret this, but I think I'm gonna put Karthus in never use.
Okay, Karthus, my friend, I am sorry.
I just don't see much.
You have been bummed down.
You getting much use out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys.
I'm excited.
That is his list finished and locked in. I'm now going to go away. I'm going to add up his points, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to reveal how he did compared to my list. We'll see you in a minute. Okay then, guys, so here we are at the completed tier list. On the left, we have General's tier list, the Yu-Gi-Oh player, and on the right, we have my tier list, the Riftbound player. Now, keep in mind, guys, the meta changes, okay? So this might not be true as of the time of upload or in the future, whenever you're watching it. We're just basing it off of what the current meta was when we're filming this. So, you know, if you think something's wrong, it is what it is. So starting off, we'll start with his top tier. He's put Green Ari in multi-deck meta, which is quite an interesting choice. Now, I can understand why their ability might seem really, really good, but unfortunately, the way the game is played right now, the current meta, it just doesn't get enough usage, so he's going to score 0 points for that, as I've put her in never used. Next is Heimerdinger, very similar again, a really, really good ability at face value, but in reality, it just doesn't get enough use. I do think he'll be good in the future, but for now, he's got 0 points for that. Kaiser, his first correct choice, 3 points. Noxus Saboteur, 0 points, complete opposite sides again, just not enough hidden cards causing enough problems in the meta. Looking at single deck meta or sideboard, he's put Dazzling Aurora. I've put that in multi-deck meta purely because you see it in MF all the time, you see it in Volibear, you see it in Master Yi now as well. It's very prevalent in the meta, so very easy choice. 1 point for that though still, he got the right half. Next you've got Baited Hook, he's got that spot on, 3 points. Darius Baited Hook, one of my favourite decks, very underrated deck in my opinion, very, very strong. Following that you got Draven, he's put it in single deck. I put it in multi-deck just because you see it in pretty much every single red deck. So 1 point for that, correct half. Then he's put Mystic Reversal in single deck meta. I've put it in rarely used or sideboard because you do sometimes see it in a sideboard. Maybe I was a bit generous there. He's got 0 points anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Following that you got Carnivorous Snapvine. He's got it in the right half, not the correct tier. You see it in pretty much every orange deck. It's just a very, very good card. 1 point for that. Udyr. Now, I've put Udyr in rarely used or sideboard because you do see it in Lee Sin decks, which is a very niche meta. Hardly even a meta at all, to be honest. He's got 0 points for that. He's put it in the top half. Mine is in the bottom half. Moving on to his rarely used or sideboard section. He's put Malzahar in that section. I've also put Malzahar in there. I know people try and cook Malzahar in their Time Warp decks especially. He's another card which I think will be strong over time. He doesn't have a power cost, which is pretty good for him. The 3 might though is pretty rough into Kaiser decks. you know, Falling Star or the Ray is just going to destroy him. So yeah, 3 points for that. Following that, you got Possession. Now, honestly, you have seen Possession popping up more often. I'm running it in my MF deck, and it seems to be working really, really well. But I've put it in Never Used because it pretty much is never used at the moment. So he's got 1 point for that for correct half. Following that, he's put Soul Gorger in Rarely Used, which is interesting. I've gone ahead and put that in multi-deck meta just because he's a very good purple card. You see him in Misfortune, you see him in Teemo. Very, very solid. 0 points for him on that one. Twisted Fate. Now, I joked that this card might relate to him because of the text. There's a lot of writing on this card, but he's so useless at the minute. So he's gone in Never Used for me. 1 point for correct half. Following that, you got White Flame. He's put that in Rarely Used or sideboard. That's obviously gone in my single deck meta or sideboard. Now, I do know there are like 3 Master Yi decks going around. I've included that all in one under the Legend Master Yi, which is why it's single deck meta. You could argue that's multi-deck meta, fair enough, but he's gone single deck meta for me. 0 points anyway, so it doesn't matter. Then into his Never Used, he's put Spectral Matron. Now, Spectral Matron is only used in Darius Hook, which is why I put it in single deck meta. So completely off there, 0 points. I have included quite a few Darius Hook cards in here with Baited Hook, Spectral Matron, and Draven. Kaiser as well, actually. So he didn't quite make that connection. I can't blame him. You wouldn't really make that connection unless you played it or know enough about it. So yeah, Never Used. I put it in single deck, 0 points. Next, you got Time Warp. He's put it in Never Used. I put it in Rarely Used or sideboard because even though you do see people trying these Time Warp decks or having it in the sideboard, none of them are really starting to break into the top cut of the meta. They do all right at tournaments. They're kind of awkward to play around. They can catch players off guard. I think in China that was a big thing for the success behind Time Warp. I think because there were so many players, you had a lot of lesser skilled players, I want to say, which just couldn't handle the Time Warp. They didn't know how to play around it. A good player will play Time Warp really, really well. So for me, it is Rarely Used or sideboard, and he's gotten 1 point for correct half on that. And then finally, you've got Karthus. Again, Karthus is very much like Heimerdinger. He is a card which at the moment just isn't good enough. There's not enough synergy for him, but I do think he is going to become really, really strong in the future when we get more Death Knell cards. Him and Heimer are cards that can only get better. They just won't get worse because of their abilities. So I put him in Never Used currently because he is Never Used, and he also put him in Never Used, so he's gotten 3 points for that. Now let's go ahead and add up his score. Alright, and so I can confirm he got 6 cards in the correct half, and he got 4 cards spot on, which was Kaiser, Hook, Malzahar, and Karthus. With that being said, he has scored himself a total of 19 points out of a total of 54 possible points. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, only time will tell. I will do more videos of this with other TCG players, so we'll see how they compare. I'll do a little leaderboard at the end as well, so we can compare them all and see who the best TCG players are. But for now, that is the #1 score, so General Jaw is going to take first place temporarily until somebody else comes to challenge him for his title. So congrats to General, thanks to him for helping me with this video. It was a very fun video. I really like the idea of this. So let me know what TCG players you'd like to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you for watching.